Okay, you guys, 90-day sprints, Paris, New York City, MacBook Pro, cash. What is it called? The sports pack, right? I wanted to have this Zoom so that we can clarify any questions that you have. We're going to do some goal setting right now. This will be our monthly goal setting call. I know normally we would wait to do that till next week, but we have all of our shopping spree earners and leaders retreat earners coming into town starting on Tuesday and then again on Thursday. And so I wanted to just do it today with you guys. I know you might not have time. I know this is not scheduled. So if you have to watch the replay, no worries, but grab a pen and paper. If you have time to do this with me now, and then we are recording this so that you can share it with your teams. And what I would encourage you to do is do a Zoom with your team individually as well. So this is our, larger, greater team call. However, anytime that you as a leader are on a call like this, I want you to feel motivated to then turn around and give that same individualized leadership for your team. Because at the end of the day, if you are always looking to me to lead your team suffers. It has to come from you. It's sort of like I'm like you posting on Facebook hoping to get an enrollment, right? But you doing individualized things with your team is like you direct messaging people. The sign up process happens faster. The individualized part of that is deeper, greater connection. So it's just so, so important, right? So we can do the goal setting all together here, but then you getting on a Zoom and saying, let's all show our goal setting papers. Let's all tell each other what we're doing. Let's all work together. You having an individual team thread, please add me because I want to cheer you on if you have those. I know I'm in those for pretty much all of you. So, but if you're like, no, I'm making a new one, please add me. I want to be in it so I can help cheer you on and support you as well. But you are the leader in those ways, right? Your team needs to see you as the leader and you need to be the leader because it's what takes your team to the next level. Okay. So put some comments. I want to hear, or unmute yourself. I want to hear like first responses. Who wants to go first? First reaction to the new 90-day sprint, the trip to Paris, the trip to New York City, the sports pack, the cash, the MacBook Pro. Tell me initial reactions. Angie, go.
I'm like crazy pumped, crazy excited. I'm all in.
Yes! So exciting. Jen, what about you?
Same. I am so ready, so excited, so pumped. I am going to do this and I am going to Paris.
Yes. Okay, Nicole, you're up.
I don't want to show my face because I literally just climbed out of bed like this, but
I'm in my bed, in my jammies.
I'm in my bed in my pajamas with greasy hair, yes, and no bra on. I literally just heard about this and I want to know details. I'm really excited and I'm hoping that I can inspire other people on my team to see this vision. My first thought was how can I promote this in a message to people that will spark their interest? That was my very first thought.
Perfect.
For building new leaders. Perfect.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you what I'm already doing so that you can kind of have an idea what that looks like. Okay. Shay, initial reactions.
Kind of the same as Nicole. And all inclusive, I guess. I'm super pumped, but I want the nitty-gritty details, trying to figure out okay, how do I utilize this? How do I tell people about it as I'm signing them up to get them excited and inspired to see the potential behind this.
Yes. Okay, love it. Okay, anybody else want to share initial reactions?
I just want to say.
Oh, Carol's going to talk.
Oh. Yes, I just want to say the prizes are awesome, and it's really motivated me to do this. But I've got to work on being a leader and not be afraid of doing a Zoom, and I'm doing it right now.
You're doing so good, Carol.
And so I'm looking forward to it.
If you don't know, Carol is deaf, and so she has like added challenges that most of us don't. Like she's reading my lips right now, probably. Or do you have you don't have a sign language interpreter here, right?
No.
Yeah.
I have my cell phone that I'm listening to, and I have a laptop. It's not Bluetooth, so that's why I have two things going on.
Yep. So sometimes I will still like go to send Carol a voice message, and I'm like, that's not going to work, and I like erase it.
You know what?
Type it.
I'm getting better though.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So awesome. Tell everybody what your rank is, Carol.
A gold.
Oh, awesome. I love
My
it.
goal is to go.
Yep. You're amazing.
Gold.
Okay. So, was there someone else that wanted to share their initial reaction? I feel like Carol and someone else were trying to talk at the same time. It was Michelle. Was it Michelle?
Can I?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh. I was like a sigh of relief for the consistency. It was so exciting to me because I feel like every time I'm like, I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up. And this time I was like, I seriously was like, okay, this is so amazing. I'm so excited.
I love the stream, like the seamlessness of it. I love that all of the contests and prizes now flow easily together. And I know I was putting in all the threads, a lot of the clarification things. And so I'm just going to read those aloud here, just so that we have a place where if someone wanted to watch a video, they could see it again without having to like scroll on the threads. I also have a note on my phone. So if you want that note, just let me know. You have on our team. You're on our team. If anyone else is watching the recording, please don't message me if you're not on my team. But for my team, you guys can message me, and I just have a note on my phone that says New Plexus Way. So if you want that, or you could just copy and paste it from the thread right now and put it on note on your phone on your own. Okay. So here it is. Every 90 days, there's a new contest with the same rules. This is genius because a successful network marketing business operates in 90-day sprints. If you have ever read any network marketing books before, what you will learn is that every successful network marketer does these 90-day pushes. This is something that Brooke and I learned really early on when we were studying network marketing. We were trying to get a grasp on it. And this is a thing. 90-day sprints are what professional network marketers do, which I consider myself to be at this point in my career. I hope that many of you are starting to see yourself in that light. But this is something that Brooke and I have always done. Christy, like we've always done these things and we've understood this concept, okay? So there are 4 contests based around recruiting around the year, okay? And throughout the year. And they are all based around rank ups, recruiting, and retaining them. These are the things you're going to be rewarded for. I'm going to be putting pictures of all the graphics from the presentation today in the threads right after this call. So you'll have access to that. If you ever feel like you lose them, the way that you go find pictures in a thread is you click on the name of the thread on your phone, and then it will pull up details and information about the thread, and it will say pictures and images, and you click on it and it will show you all of the pictures ever shared in the thread in the history of the thread. So I love that it does that. Okay. So you'll have that there. You can also send them to yourselves. The prizes, not including the Paris and New York trip, right? All the other prizes, the sports pack and the computer, those prizes change every 90-day cycle. So this first cycle, we are working for the sports pack and for the MacBook Pro, which I'm super excited about because if you guys have seen my computer lately, you will know a child stepped on my laptop and and so it's cracked on the screen. And now, just like a TV would do, there's like color that's like bleeding onto the screen. And so sometimes when I'm trying to like read in the back office, I'm like have to scroll down because there's this blob of green ink across my screen. And even when you make $1 million a year in network marketing, you still don't want to go buy your own new computer. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm so excited to work for the computer. I'm like, yes, we've been begging for this as a prize for 2 years. So this was actually like an idea that Brooke had like years ago, where she was like, I wish they would give us, like last summer, I wish they would give us a computer. I'm like, yes, I would love to earn a computer. So we finally get to earn a computer. Okay. And the MacBook Air, Shay, you're going to pick that one, even though I know you want to pick the Surface, but because it's free, you're going to pick the MacBook Pro and you're going to come over to the Apple side and you are going to wonder why you ever fought me on it for so long. Yes. And you're going to get an iPhone and they're going to link together and it's going to be amazing. The reason why I'm so fast is because I can text and type on my computer, everything. So it's awesome. Okay. So the prizes will change every 90 days. We're working for the sports pack and we're working for the computer. Now for Hannah and myself, because we are jewels, we are excluded from the first 2 prizes. So the $500 and the sports pack. That's to allow several thousand more non-jewels to earn those prizes. They were able to extend that up. Okay. So once you're a jewel, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, hi Dino, say hi to the girls. Hi. The reason why I'm bringing this up, he was so cute. When he was watching the live, Ryan Anderson was talking and he was like, who is that? I'm like, that's my friend Ryan. He goes, oh, he looks like a dad. Okay. So when you're a jewel, you will be able to qualify for prizes 3 through 6. Does that make sense? And I'm telling you this because I know that every single person here has the ability to become a jewel. So you need to know the rules because that's where you're going. Yes, exactly. Okay.
Wait, Emily, where can I see it like printed out? Like I was looking at my email, I didn't see it in my email.
So there is, you should have got a text this morning actually with a link that will take you to the landing page, but I will put the landing page and the graphics in the threads after we finish here. And then you can see those details. Mm-hmm. Okay. But there's like literally a landing page for the entire thing. It's like, plexusworldwide.com/success like line sprints, line toolkit, like it's there for us. So you'll be able to find that. Okay. The Paris and New York trip is work for the entire year. So there's the 4 90-day sprints, the 4 different contest periods to break it apart with 4 different 2 prizes, and then the cash stays the same, right? And then at the end of the year, the top 50 credit earners from the entire year's work. So example, you have someone that joins in June and they explode and they rank really, really fast. They can still earn the top 50 credit earner spot as long as they have the top 50 points out of everyone by the end of the year. So the contest periods January 1st through December 31st, broken up into 4 chunks. No matter what time you join in the company, you're going to have a chance to be in those top 50 spots, right? The top 50 are going to Paris in 2022. So you do the work this year, and then the trip is in the following year. Make sense? Yeah. The top 50 spots are all going to Paris, but if you are in the top 10, you also get to go to New York City first with Tarl and Alec. Again, this is for you and a guest. So this, most likely you'll bring your husband, but for example, I know like Chanel, she might want to bring her daughter or whatever, or she might want to bring her cute boyfriend too. But you know what I mean? Like it's for you and a guest when you win it. Okay. If the top 50 spots are organically all jewels, they will take 5 of them and take them out of the contest and open spots for non-jewels. So if you are like the top 45 can go all to jewels, and the next 5 will come from non-jewels. Does that make sense? What I think is going to happen is very naturally non-jewels are going to win those in the top 50 anyway. So it's not, we're not going to have to deal with that. Does that make sense how I'm saying that? Is that clear? Shay, go
So
ahead.
I do have a question. When you were saying like, so if somebody like joins in June and then explodes, they can still win it. Is that like, so I guess my question is, cause yeah, they do cumulatively all 4 quarters, those top 50.
Yeah.
But that person that joins in June doesn't have, you know, maybe those 3,000 credits, maybe from quarter 1 and quarter 2. Do they kind of get prorated, like percentage wise of, or is it still just cumulative? They have to do in 2 quarters what everybody else did in 4 quarters. Okay.
They have to do in 2 quarters and everyone else is done in 4. And
Okay.
the reason why this works and why it's so fair is because the contest isn't weighted in any place, right?
Right.
You notice like you're not getting 1,000 points for ranking diamond. You're not getting, you know, like 30 points for a diamond and, or, you know, 500 points for developing a level 1 diamond and 30 points for developing a silver. Like you get the same
Right.
all the way across the board, which is why it's so fair
Okay.
to everyone, right? The thing that they wanted most for this was for non-jewels to be able to win this, so they will be motivated to develop themselves to jewel and diamond. This is made for the masses. This is not made for me to win. It's made for you guys to win. Okay, so that is why I want all of you to see that this is yours for the taking. And because this team is so skilled at consistency and working all year long and not just in contest periods, that's why you have a leg up over other teams that maybe haven't been practicing that for long periods of time. So I want everyone to be so confident and believe that they can do this. And I know that there are some of you that are like, another thing I'm not going to be able to win, but you know, I'm going for the sports pack. Like I get it, because I remember when, and some of you weren't here when the private island trips were happening, but I remember when they announced Musha Key, this was back in like 2017, they announced the private island trip. And I remember sitting in Super Saturday in Arizona. There were 22 people from our team there with us. Who was there? Is anyone there that's on this call? Can't remember now who was all there. But I remember sitting in there watching, oh, that's so nice. I'm never going to be able to win that. Like I literally did not believe that I was going to be able to do that. I mean, I was a brand new Sapphire. I didn't think of my team as like, that we would be in one of the top 7 spots. You had to be in the top 7. You guys, we were number 6 in that contest. And then the next year when they did Over Yonder, you would have thought that I would have believed in myself by then, right? At that point, I was diamond. Like we had just a team that was just amazing. And I still was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to win it. And we were number 3. So like, I totally empathize and relate with that little voice that may or may not be in your head right now, placing doubt, telling you, oh, if you know, I'm not a big team like that. I don't have a lot of workers, or whatever it is, that whatever story that you're telling yourself about that. What I want to encourage you to think about, and this is so important that I wrote a note about this because I've been thinking about you guys so much over the last few days. But what I want you to ask yourself is, do you want to reinforce your story of this is another thing that you can't win, or this is another thing that might be out of reach for you, or this is something that you're scared of? Do you want to reinforce that story? of you're not good enough or you don't have enough workers or whatever it is? Or do you want to be really clear in your brain and in your mind and set your intentions of the direction you want to go to and what you want to achieve with this? And I love how Brooke always says, for every person that says it can't be done, there are a dozen people who say it can, and they will. And the only reason why why we as a team were able to be in those top 7 spots with that first island is because Brooke believed in me. And she kept saying, just stay focused, blinders on, like straight ahead, let's do it. And she was like, if you rank diamond, you will win the trip. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to rank diamond. I only have 4 months, like whatever. Yes, we earned it as a sapphire team, you guys. Like, you can do this. And back then the contests were more weighted. It was different. This is set up for you to have an even better chance to win this than a diamond team in momentum, because you are going to have growth in your upper levels. I rarely have growth in my 1 and 2. Rarely, because I build everything under Sean. Build under your first position. You are going to win this. You're going to have a way better chance of winning this than someone else who has a more like who has like my team grows in the level 5s the most. 5, 6, 7. Now I have 8, 9 and 10s joining every day, right? So like this is made for you to hit emerald and sapphire and diamond this year. And you're like, oh, I'm just a gold. I know. This is made for you to hit emerald and sapphire and diamond this year. And the more that you let go of resistance of that, the better the world is going to be able to help bring it to you. Do you know what I mean? It's not stress that is bad for our health. It's the resistance of stress that is bad for our health. We have amazing systems. We are so set for you guys to be able to do this. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to keep reading really fast here. Emerald Extravaganza and Diamond Destination trips are still happening every year. That was a question a lot of you were asking me. Along with convention contest and leaders retreat. So convention will still happen, leaders retreat will still happen, but the 90-day sprint in that time period, like the 90-day sprint in the convention period, so like April, May, June, that sprint is going to be revolving around convention. And then leaders retreat, if it's in October next year or this year, you know, it's sort of been weird, right? Like it was supposed to be in October and then we had to move it to January and combine it with Super Saturday because of the pandemic. So this year we just see it's typically in October, right? And so
wait, so are you saying that like the prizes for that quarter will revolve around like whatever prizes they do for convention?
Yes.
So like we don't know what they'll be yet. Those prizes we don't know.
Right.
We just know that this quarter is the MacBook Pro and the sports pack.
Yes, correct.
And there's other smaller prizes or something. I haven't seen the prizes yet.
That. So it's cash. It's $500 cash. Then it's the sports pack.
What's the sports pack?
It is an Apple Watch and then a like Bose AirPods type of thing. It's like not Apple AirPods, it's like the Bose ones, I guess. I don't know what the name is for it, but there are pictures and images and I'll put them all in the thread.
Okay.
Oh yeah, cash level is $100. Thank you, Leah. So it goes 100 and then the sports pack and then 500.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me. And then yeah, Jabra, am I saying that right? Jabra earbuds. Yeah. They're really fancy.
I have a question.
Uh-huh. And it's also in your email, Angie said.
So with quarter 1, let's say you got one of the prizes, and then the second quarter, can you still get the same one that you won instead of the others?
So it's like they're going to announce a whole new set of prizes to replace the sports pack and replace the MacBook Pro in the second sprint.
Okay.
And
So
then
you have
in
a
the third
choice.
sprint, there'll be another one. And then in the fourth sprint, there'll be another one. So the
Okay, good.
prizes are stackable. So you earn them all along the way, unless you're a jewel and you are stackable from level 3 and up. And again, there are enrollment requirements. So you have to do one level 1 in 90 days. You guys are like, some of you've already done that yesterday, and today you're going to do it. Do you know what I mean? And then for a jewel, it's 6 to unlock those things, right? You're going to do more than that in a 90-day period because you are going to be a jewel this year. And you need to enroll more than one every 90 days for that. Yes. Okay. I'm glad we're clear on that. Okay. Yes. 6+ every month. Yes. That's the goal, guys. Okay.
Hey, Emily, will you check the waiting room, see if you have more people?
It says Zoom user, and I was afraid to let.
That's Chanel.
Okay, good. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm so scared to let that person in because it says Zoom user. Like, it could be some weird pedophile's gonna show us naked parts.
Nope, just Chanel.
Good. I'm so glad. I'll have to tell Chanel that funny story. Okay. So now what we want to do on our piece of paper, what I want you to do is across the top, I want you to set your goals for January. We're going to set our goals for January, right? And as we set our goals for January, we're sort of looking ahead to February and March, right? So for example, if you are wanting to rank up to Emerald by convention, we'll just use that as an example, okay? Which you want to try and get that done in April so that you're recognized at convention in June, because April is the last, April 31st. You have to rank by April 31st to have recognition by then, because it takes them time to like print all the banners and do all those things. So I ranked up in May and I didn't know the rules, so I just got on stage anyway, but I wasn't supposed to, I guess. I don't know. Amy told us to go, so Brooke and I, we just went up, like, but yeah, so now they're a little bit more like good about that. Don't come in here, please. Out, don't talk in here. Okay, so so you want it, let's just say you want to be Emerald by April and you are gold right now. Okay, I was gold in January and ranked in May, so it's possible. Okay, and I didn't have anybody working the business with me at this point. So if you're like, I don't have any workers, I don't care. I didn't either, right? It's possible. Okay. Oh my gosh, why are my kids in here? Chase, leave the room. Go on. Go on. No, but Dean is not being quiet. Yeah, Leah came in February. So I know in your mind, you're like, trying to control the circumstance and you're like, there's no one here. I do not even have anybody on the radar. It's fine. It still works. It really does. Okay. So, so right now, maybe your goal is to rank gold or senior gold this month. And then next month would be ranking senior gold or ruby, and the month after ranking ruby or senior ruby, and the month after 1,000-point club or emerald, and the month after emerald, right? So I want you to see the possibility of that happening. Now, how many workers would you need on your team to do something like that? About 4 to 5. That's it. About 4 to 5 engaged people. And so how do you, knowing that you need about 4 to 5 people, leaders pumping to be emerald by April or May, right? How do you make goals for January with that in mind? It all starts with silver. It always starts with silver. Who can you talk to, spending hours of time thinking and talking? Who can you talk to bring in over the next week that you're going to get to silver? Right? Every single person that you talk to, you want to be talking to them about, who in their life is coming to mind. Like, this is a really easy transition that I always do when I'm talking to people about the products. I still very much lead with the products. On occasion, I'll lead with the business, but I still very much lead with the products. And what I'll do is I'll say, you know, when I know they're feeling it, they see that they want to bring Plexus into their life. Maybe they're not signed up yet, but they're like, yeah, I'm starting to see that this is really something that, you know, could be for me. I'll say, you know, I know when it finally clicked for me and I started thinking, I think I want to do this, I immediately started thinking about a couple people in my life. Like, I knew my mom had high cholesterol. I knew that my sister had thyroid issues. I knew my best friend suffered from depression. Is there anyone like that that you're thinking of right now? And see, I'm fishing. That's me fishing. And if they go, no, there's no one, and I'm not interested in selling it, I go, no problem. Okay, so this is the pack I think we're gonna get. Are you thinking you want to get started right now, or do you have more questions? Right? Like, I instantly just follow their lead. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, we'll get to that later. Because I know that when they feel good, I'm gonna ask again. I'm gonna keep asking. I'm gonna keep following up, not in a pushy way, but in a way that is coming from someone that it's like sneaking vegetables into their spaghetti sauce, right? Okay. So that is how I always start the conversation of the business when I'm signing someone up or in the process of talking to them. Yeah, Jen said she only knew one person and now she is senior silver and growing. Exactly. That's a perfect example. Okay. So I want you to remember that it all starts with the people you're talking to about the products and putting that in as a little tease, right? And you're just going to see how they respond. If they're totally turned off to it, fine. Then you just go back into relationship building mode, helping them have success with the products. When they have success with the products, immediately ask them to post, right? Oh my gosh, these results are so amazing. You should totally post that on Facebook with a picture of your pink drink. Will you do that right now? This could help so many people. This is how you develop silvers, you guys. It starts before you even enroll them by planting the seed of, you know, when I was looking into it, it finally clicked for me, like it's clicking for you right now. They haven't even said they want to sign up yet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to you about it that early. And that's when you're instantly saying, yeah, like, you know, I started thinking about people in my life. Is there anyone that you're thinking about right now as it's starting to click for you? And then they will either say no and be totally cold, but that is like 1 in 50. What most people do is they go like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking of my coworker and then my friend Lindsay and yeah, like Angie, and she's super skeptical, but like, you know, she runs her own business and she's always tired and they have lots of kids, and you know what I mean? Like, so then what do I need to do? I better be writing those names down in my book, because I'm going to be following up. I'm going to be saying, okay, great. Oh my gosh. What about if you text her? What about if you called her? And then you could just put her in a message with me and I could answer questions and then she could start with you. Right? Again, I'm having all these conversations before they've even told me they want to sign up. So that when they sign up, we've already talked about the business a little bit. And then it's an easier transition. But I'm not calling it the business for most people unless they give me signs and cues of like, man, I would love to not work anymore. Or if they're not saying that, but you know they work. Like if Angie McGrew was my friend and I saw how many hours she was working at Walmart, I'd be like, if you like, just in passing, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing to see all of your success with Walmart. Like, if you didn't have to work, like, would you still do that job? Would you still choose to do that? And she'd be like, no, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's all I've ever wanted. And I'd be like, okay, I'm just going to say it. I've always thought that you would be amazing at what I do. You are an amazing leader. You're super detail oriented. You care about people. Your relationships are super important to you. Those are all the things that give success in what I do. And we could replace your income while you're still working at Walmart. What do you think? And then you let her respond. And if she's like, no, then you're like, oh my gosh, no problem. Okay, back to what we were talking about. But if she's like, do you really think I could do it? I don't know. Most people will say that, by the way. I don't think I could do it. I don't know. I don't know many people. Jen's like, I know one person. Okay, now she has 10, right? Like everybody says that. I said that. I was like, I don't know if I can get 3, for sure can't get 10. Everybody thinks that. So just know when you're talking to people, that's what they're believing and thinking, right? And so, so when you are developing people, this is like, I'm giving you nitty gritty on how to develop silvers. And it's different than what you're doing, because if you were doing this with every single person, you'd be getting more silvers, because the 3 people I signed up at the end of the month are all working for silver, and all 3 of them had no interest in the business. But because I developed them in this way with these little tiny steps, they're all working for silver, right? So then you have to remember, so you sign them up, you ask them to do a first post. They get 1 friend. You say, oh, will you put them in a message with me? I would love to talk to them and help answer questions, right? And then follow up with that. Make sure they do it. Teach them how to do it if they don't know how. Then if nothing happens and it falls dead and they don't come to the chat, then you say, could you message Linda privately and see if she saw our message? Maybe text would be better. Would it be better to start it with text instead of Facebook Messenger? Will you try that? Will you message her privately and see if she'll come to our chat? And then if nothing happens, keep rolling with that of, oh yeah, did you ever talk to Lindsay? How did it go? Did she ever say anything? Keep thinking of little ideas to get her to look at something if you can't get them in the message with you. Then you're like, oh, well, only 1 person commented on her thing, so I guess she can't go silver. Wrong. It's time to ask them to do a Facebook Live. Say, oh my gosh, whether do an unboxing with their products, or if they already love their products and they have them, picture their pink drink, and they can do a live, like saying, hey, like if they don't even have their products yet and they've caught the vision of $305, right? Then what you do is you get them to, you say, okay, I want you to take some notes on a piece of paper, and I want you to go live on Facebook, and I want you to say, you guys, I feel like crap. I'm not sleeping. My cravings are out of control. I've gained 15 pounds in COVID. I have no energy. I'm down. My mood is down. And then I want you to say, like, literally list them out. My hair's falling out. I just like, I need something new. And you say, go do a live. If you're like, oh, but because see, we think they have to have products to do these things. They don't. So you can ask them to go on Facebook and do a live and say all the things that they're bothered about. And then they can say, so I'm trying this gut health thing. I don't know. It's called Plexus. There's like a pink drink, some probiotics, some anti-inflammatory stuff. And I'm really looking for people to do it with me because I need some buddies. And I know that a lot of you feel like crap too. So leave a comment, send me a message. Like, let's do this together. And you tell them to make notes. Emily Blodgett did this when she started. I had her make notes for the live. And then she did the live. It works. She signed up 20 people in like 30 days, you guys. Like, it works so well when you coach them on how to do it. And if you're like, well, they just did a post, who cares? Do a live. I do a Plexus post and then a Facebook Live on the same day all the time because I will refer to it. I'll be like, oh yeah, not sure if you saw my post, but I'm doing a live because I want to catch your attention. Right? So we have to teach people how to do this. We have to put the idea in their mind and then give them the support to do it. Right? And then when they do the live, then you better be scouring the comments and being like, oh, start a message with me and Lindsay, start a message with me and Sally. I see all these people. A lot of time I'll screenshot the comments and send it to them and say, okay, we need to do 3 messages with Maria, Sally, and Susie. Can you start those right now? Individual messages. Do you know how to do that? Like, it's me pushing it behind the scenes. And guess what? That has to be you to get silvers on your team. And you have to do this system with every person that joins your team. Some people will go like this, that's fine. But most of them will actually engage with you and give you some names to follow up with. And that is like tapping, it's like marble veins. I want you to imagine like a big slab of marble and you see all the veins in the marble. And if you tap in it in different places, it cracks again, right? That is what you are doing when you use this process with every person that joins your team. Is you're tapping a new vein in the marble. It's unlimited potential. Yes. Okay. So at the top of January, keeping in mind that you want to have 4 to 5 workers in the next 90 days so that you can rank emerald in April and May, even if you're silver right now, which is what I was the January before I hit emerald in May. 4 to 5 workers on your team starts with enrollments. So you want to be posting. You want to be going live. You want to be messaging. You want to be searching so that you have more people to do this system that I just explained to you with every person. And then you need to teach your team to do the same. And if they're not doing it, that's okay, because you're going to get them to be through a message with you and that new person they just sponsored out of nowhere, and you're going to do it with that person in the thread. You're going to friend them on Facebook. You're going to relationship build. You're going to get your foot in the door so you can do this process. Okay? Any questions so far? Kara said, I joined that March, she did, and just figured it's normal to rank up every month because Brooke and I were. Totally can be. Exactly. Yes, it's just normal. It's in the sorting hat bin in the closet. Tell Dad, he'll know. Okay, so guys, my like sweaty pits so big right now because I am like seeing the potential for all of you, and I can see that you are seeing it for yourselves, and that is so powerful. Okay, so your goal for January, I want you to write at the very top your name. Shay is Emerald. Let's do it, Shay. Let's do it this month. Why not? I mean, do what you want. Say 1,000 points, whatever. But you could be Emerald this month. I was at 822 the month before I was Emerald. So that's like right where you were last month. So you could be Emerald this month. You would probably need about 120 people to join your team and white lines. If you want to, I'm just saying, like, it could be. Leah, same with you. It could be. It could. I know you're like, they're resisting. Do you see it? What if you were like, let's do it? Nicole Jones, you too. I see you. About 120 people would need to join your team this month. And you're like, I've never had a 100-person month before. It's a great time to do it right now then. Let's do it. Let's get it over with. Okay, it's possible. So, at the top, Emily is fill in the blank. What is your rank going to be this month? Okay. How many people, everyone's writing this down, right? You have your piece of paper out, you're writing it down, except instead of Emily, you're writing Angie, except for Emily Blodgett, because we have the same name, so that makes sense. It works for her. Emily is fill in the blank. Amy is straight up she's making all the mugs for Leaders Retreat. If you ordered your tumbler for Leaders Retreat this week, she's got her Plexus shirt on and she's making mugs. Legacy. Okay. So you are writing how many people you're going to personally sponsor this month. Maybe it's 6, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 10. Whatever it is, my goal is always 3 to 6, and I've been doing this for 5 years. And in December, I had 1 by the 28th, and I was like, how am I going to get 2 more? Like, this is never going to happen. And then I did a live on the 31st. Well, no, I signed up 1 person before that, and I was like, 2, I got to get 3. I got to at least get 1 more. And so I did a live. That's why I did a live on the 31st. I signed up 2 people from that. Only one of them saw it. The other one, I was like, hey, I just did this live. You should go watch it. Hey, prices are going up tomorrow. I was thinking about you. Nobody, like, they just don't come. You got to, like, be there. behind forcing it, right? To me, organic growth is me organically making it happen. Like, it's not just gonna come, sister. Like, it's all about like you doing it. And I know if it's outside of your comfort zone, that might be uncomfortable. It's inside my comfort zone and it's uncomfortable. It's fine. Let's just be uncomfortable and do amazing things together. Okay? Okay. So, how many you're going to personally sponsor? How many silvers do you want? I want 3 new level 1 silvers this month. And I'm going to try and do it this week. And you're like, oh, it's too much. No, it's not. I signed up 3 new people in the last 3 days of January. I want to get them all silver ASAP. And there's a 4th one that she's been in Disney World for a week, but I'm really going to try and hone her in. But she's just like not even responding to anything because, you know, they're in Disney World. So it's just a challenge. I'm trying to work around. I'm like, are you dead? Did you die in the Magic Kingdom? She hasn't answered that, by the way. But so write how many silvers you want. If you are wanting to find 4 or 5 workers, you're going to need to focus on multiple silvers a month, which means you're going to need to be enrolling multiple people a month. And it doesn't mean that they're always going to come from the new. I think it's easier to get people silver who are brand new, just starting. That's just a thought that I have. For you, you might be like, no, it's way easier if they've been on the products. But really, it's easy both ways. We just have to be open and flexible to where it's coming from. Okay, so number of silver goal for Emerald should be, you want to try and get 3 to 4 silvers this month. Now, for example, Jen, she's going to work for gold this month. So to me, that kind of counts. I feel like that's part of that, right? But if you get like 3 silvers and Jen to gold, that is awesome. But even if you always want to be bringing in 1 or 2 new workers and helping existing workers rank up also. And the better you get at bringing in new silvers, you're going to think, gosh, 1 to 2 is like nothing. I could do that with my eyes closed. You just get better at it. And when you re-watch this video to the way that I taught you to get people into the idea of silver and what to do to when they don't get any traction on their first post and they do a live and they don't get any traction on that, and you just keep giving them ideas behind the scenes while you're doing your check-ins for their products and you're taking care of your team and you're doing all these things, you're gonna get better and better and better at it because you're gonna have a system. You're gonna know what to do, so you don't have to think about it, right? Okay, so other rank ups on your team this month are next. If you don't have anybody working on your team right now, then you're just gonna write silver goals. But you might be thinking, oh, Jess just joined my team and I know I could get her silver, and I actually think she could go like senior silver and gold in 1 month. So you might write Jess silver and then in parentheses, possibly senior silver and gold. But if you already have a team with a silver or a senior silver, you're going to write your silver goal, and then you're also going to write Jen, rank to gold. Or Amy, rank to senior gold, or Ruby, or whatever. Like, you're going to write all the rank ups possibilities that are going to be on your team this month next. Just list them out. One way that can be really helpful as your team gets larger is go to your back office for this. So you click on My Business, Points and Rank, and then you click on Achieved Rank tab twice, and it will show you all the achieved ranks of everyone on your team. And then on the side next to it, it will say Paid Rank. So if they've hit ruby, but they've fallen back to gold or senior gold or whatever, it'll show you that. And so then you can be like, oh my gosh, Leah, like last year at this time, Leah, you were holding gold, correct? Now you're senior ruby, holding senior ruby. Headed for 1,000-point club this month. Right? So a year ago, it was like, oh, hey, want to come back? Right? So you can message those people and say, girlfriend, oh my gosh, have you heard about the Paris and New York trip? You are someone that I totally want to travel with. Like, what do you think? Do you want to have a conversation about this? Right? So you're like reaching out to people in that way. We're just going to do this for 9 more minutes. And I want to show you how I'm reaching out to people today. I've already done this. I was doing this while the call was on. Hey, Carrie, Plexus is giving away a New York City trip and a trip to Paris for 2 this year. You have the network and health story to be in the top 50. I have the intuition to know when people can actually do this, and you are someone that I truly believe is meant for this. Are you interested at all? She responded, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to figure out how to convince my husband that it's a great idea. I said, in my experience, they really just like to see the money. She put a exclamation point emoji or whatever, and so then I was like, I was trying to get her to respond back. So I wrote again, in all seriousness though, when I'm trying to make a decision like this, I like to ask myself, what's the downside, or what's the worst case scenario? Then I go through feeling all of those emotions. Then I say, what if it worked? And what if I succeeded? Then I feel all of the emotions of that. I'm going to message her again later today if she doesn't respond again, because then she stopped responding. And I'm trying to get her to talk, to come in, to get the idea. Another one. Trip for New York City and Paris for 2 is what Plexus is doing in 2021. If you started with me today with a few friends, we could make sure you all won it together. We could get you to the top of the company in a year and you'd win those trips and another trip for 2 to Mexico and Alexis. It would expand your network with wealthy people that I'm connected to in the Valley as well, which would be great for your car sales. I would do the behind the scenes stuff for you during the day while you worked your job at BMW. Want to get together for lunch? My treat to talk about it more seriously. She hasn't said anything, by the way. Red. But I'm still gonna message her. It's finding a way to talk to people to get them to respond. Notice how I didn't say you in. I was like, want to get together for lunch? My treat. So we can talk about it more seriously? Because I've been talking to her for 3 months now. She keeps saying she's interested, but she's not sure she has the time. Right? So that's the way that you craft messages to use these trips as a way to bring people in. One of those people is already on the products, the other person is not. So you can see 2 different ways of how I approach that. Okay. You've written out your goal for the month. You've written out how many personally sponsored you're going to do. You've written out how many silvers you need. You've written out what rank ups need to come on your team. You need to figure out how many orders you need to hit that rank up goal. How do you do that? My business, points and rank. Click the subscription tab twice. Count up how many 100 PV subscriptions are set to run in January. If you've had some run already, count those as well, right? So I go through and I count them, and it takes me forever. I don't do this for my diamond account anymore because it's just, I count subscriptions of my leaders now because it's too massive. I mean, it's thousands and thousands, right? So I go to individual leaders. Like sometimes I'll go to Angie's and I'll count. The way you do that is you click on someone's name and then you click view team and then you click the subscription button twice and you count theirs. So I am constantly counting my leaders' subscriptions so I can go to them and I can be like, Leah, Shay, I know you don't think you could do Emerald in January, but let me show you that you can. You have 154 subs set to process in January already. All we need is for you to have 120 enrollment month and get some white lines, and you could do it. And the plan that I'm thinking about is if you get Shannon and Sarah to Ruby, if you get Chanel and Brittany to senior Ruby, and you help develop this gold and this senior Ruby under them, like you cast the vision to that leader in private message, and you show them how it's possible. You don't just say, hey, you want to rank up to senior Ruby this month? You just need to add 150 people to your team. It's going to be so easy. No, you have to like break it down for them. And if you know the leaders on their team, which you should, it's so much more advantageous to you. You can be like, yeah, if you can get Emily to gold, or maybe Emily goes to 200 points. Maybe we push it, or 150, right? We don't always have to hit a rank. Sometimes we have to do a middle goal for people. Right? So we can get Emily to gold or 150. Then you get Chanel to senior Ruby, which means that Stacy is going to be senior gold or whatever. You map it out with their leaders. You do the work and the vision casting for them. And you say, what do you think? And all of a sudden they're like, I didn't think it was possible till you showed me. I can see it now. Right? And on a smaller scale, like Emily could be like, yeah, if we get Amy to Ruby, Amy, you would need to get Shauna to re-rank this. You would need to get so-and-so to hit here. You would need 3 new silvers, and you would need to personally sponsor 10. And you just focus on one person on your team at a time, and you break it into these little chunks. That's when all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I could be Emerald this month. Like I could do it. Or I could be Ruby this month. Even though I barely hit 250 for senior gold last month, I could be Ruby this month. I need 55 new people to join my team. But I know 10 to 12 of them are going to come from Jen because she's going to go gold. I know I'm going to bring in 3 new silvers. That's going to give me 9. And one of those, I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to get to senior silver. That's 7 more. I'm going to personally sponsor 6 or 10 or whatever your goal is. And all month long, you are working that plan, but you're also being flexible to the person that's going to come out of nowhere and rank. And then the person you planned on, you don't know where they are. They didn't engage this month. It happens. Right? It's like, be open to new possibilities. I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm going to sign her up. She's going to get 10. And then I'm going to sign her up. I don't even know if she can get 3. That's the one that gets 10. It happens every time. It's crazy. Okay. Add up. You need to add up how many subscriptions you have to run, how many you need to get to the goal you wrote at the top of your paper. And then you need to map out individually who on your team, what do they need to get? Then you need to message those leaders individually. And you need to say, I just looked at how many subscriptions are going to process this month. I see 10 or processing. Or maybe you just rank senior silver and somebody already turned off. And another person you know is going to quit. I know we can count on 8 of those 10. So we need to get you 12 to 14 for gold this month. If you can do 3 silvers and 6 enrollments, are you in? And you're individually working with your leaders and you're giving them these broken apart goals. This is what developing leaders is. And the better you get at doing this one-on-one, and just expect frustration and failure in this. And for it to go a lot slower than you want it to. Just expect that. Be like, oh, this is the part where we go like a snail. Perfect. Like, just expect it. And then when someone comes out of nowhere and just like, psh, then you're like, wow, this is so amazing. And sometimes 3 people will do that all at the same time. right? You stay consistent. You stay checking in. You keep developing the leaders. You keep leading your team, developing people one-on-one. And that person who takes 3 years to get to gold is just as important on your team. They will actually teach you more than the person that goes senior ruby in 90 days. The person that goes gold in 3 years is going to make you a better leader than anyone else on your team, because you are going to have to be more inventive, more creative, more persistent, more consistent, have better ideas to help them than someone that goes senior ruby in 90 days. The only thing that senior ruby in 90 days teaches you is boundaries or lack thereof. And then recovering after it. That's what it teaches you. But the person that takes years to go gold or senior gold or ruby, that's what makes you the best leader that you can be. So when you're feeling frustration in slower growth than you would like it to be, I want you to remind yourself of, this is the part where I get really good at this. Because then you will be able to coach anyone. And when you are a diamond ambassador, it will be because you have a lot of people that have developed to gold over several years, and they take care of those people. And you have leaders on your team. Any questions? Aubrey, Leah is going to reach out to you with Sarah, and you guys will develop a plan together so that you can see. And that's the thing, is most people will be like, I need to figure out where I'm at. That's your job as a leader to help them figure out. You get in their back office. You type in their name in your points and rank, view their team, hit subscription twice, count it up. You know their numbers better than they do. That's what a leader developer does. You know their numbers. And if you know all the numbers on your team, you also know where the loss comes from. And you're not mad at the leader. You're not like, you're not even holding gold. Like, what's wrong with you? Get out there and get your points up. You're like, oh my gosh, December is crazy. Okay, we're losing 20 orders from this leader. We're losing 10 orders from this leader. Let's get them up. Let's get in a thread. Let's help them see that they can do it. Can we do 5 today? Let's get some orders in. Let's hold that rank. Let's work together. I'm here for you. You are doubling down. You are guiding them. You're showing them what they need to do. You're the leader. And when we all take care of our people this way every single month, we will still see dips. We'll go back, we'll go up, we'll go back. But over the course of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, we will slowly, it'll just go like this. Just like that. I love Leah, Laura, Hannah, who else? Shay, have you done this? Kara, I'm sure you've done this. They've been mapping out their, over the last 12 months on a graph, and they've been showing their teams, like their growth. If I didn't mention you and you've done it, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of you who have been mapping this, and they're looking, they're like, oh my gosh, look, like last year at this time, I was actually like 300 points lower, but because I was down 100 points last month, I was thinking I was a total failure. But when I look over the course of a year, I've actually grown 300 points, right? Like our team, my like diamond position, we are down 1,000 points from where we were in August, but we are up 2,500 points from where we were a year ago. So it's really easy to be hard on yourself and be like, oh, we're down, our points are down. But when you're like, okay, wait a minute, I'm like a toddler with a Sharpie in my brain right now. Just settle down. When you look at it and you're like, okay, we're 1,000 points down from August. I can sit and I can focus on that, and I can ruminate in that, and I can beat myself up and say how horrible I am. Or I can be like, oh, well, that's totally normal in growth. Like a year ago, though, I was 2,500 points less. So really, I've had a gain. And all I'm focusing on is I've lost. No, you haven't lost. Nicole Jones, I'm 700 points higher than last January, yet I feel like I'm failing. Yes. We have to start looking at our growth with long-term vision. And there is no upside of you beating yourself up when you go back 50 or 100 points. There's no upside to that. And the way that you bounce back from that is you individually boost your leaders. You look at their team, you count their subscriptions, you set a goal with them. If they don't engage with you, great, more time to focus on new enrollments and new silvers. Freaking fantastic. And then if you have like 10 leaders that are all engaged and pumping in the same time, great. You're going to be whining to me about how you don't have time to enroll and do new silvers. When you have awareness that about your habits and tendencies as a leader, you're going to be so much more kind to yourself because you're going to start to see patterns. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I totally get stressed when I have lots of leaders. But then when I don't have lots of leaders, I totally get stressed. I know, me too. So just start recognizing it and being more kind to yourself. Of course I would feel that way. Of course. Okay, what do I need to do? Well, I have extra time because nobody's working. Perfect. Time to enroll new people and talk to every single one of them about starting with 3 in the way that I taught you earlier in this call. Now, if you're like, oh, I can't get my people to watch this call, what are you going to do? You're going to take notes on exactly what I said. And you're going to make a video for your team teaching them about it. Or you're going to host a Zoom and do it for them. Who is having like a light bulb moment right now? Please raise your hand. Yes. Okay. You guys, this is your year. You know more. You're smarter. We have better systems. We have better training. And the company with the new 90-day sprints, like, please go get yourself this trip. Please. I want to see you win it. It's the best thing ever. And it will shoot your belief through the roof. And those people that you've been trying to get for 3 years, when they see you earn the Paris trip and the New York trip, they're going to be like, okay, I think she's serious. Maybe I should do it. The only reason, I mean, I love the shopping sprees, but I'm pretty sure I spent $3,000 in incentives. Don't do this. I'm pretty sure I spent $3,000 in X Factor to earn my first shopping spree. Because I was like, everybody gets an X Factor, everybody gets an X Factor. And I wasn't even shipping them from Plexus. I was shipping them to me, and I was paying shipping to me. And then I was individually shipping them out. And we didn't even know like the really good ways to ship stuff out back then. But it worked, and I earned that shopping spree, and I was there to show pictures of it because I wanted people to see what I see, feel what I feel, experience what I experience. If you are a shopping spree earner and you're going to be in Nordstrom with us on Wednesday, you better be thinking, how can I market this? How can I show people that this is incredible and they can win this too? How can I message people right now saying, oh my gosh, I earned this shopping spree this year and I'm going on Wednesday. And I was just thinking like how amazing it would be for you to earn something like this year. I know you're not even in Plexus yet, but like, I'm so excited, and I am thinking about you today as I'm packing to go to that. These trips are so huge. They validate you. Me doing a shopping spree at Kmart is not going to motivate anyone to come do network marketing with me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's great. Would I love $2,000 to go to Kmart? Sure. Why not? But it's probably not going to get anyone to be like, oh my gosh, if she could win it, I could win it. I think I want to do that. So market the sports pack, market the cash, market the MacBook, market the trip to Paris, market the New York trip. You don't have to earn them to market it. But when you do earn it, people are going to take you more seriously because you will take yourself more seriously. And that's the real kicker. Is people are like, oh yeah, they just won't take me seriously until I earn it. It's actually not the trip. It's you finally look at it as something serious. Okay, we're gonna end this. It's 11:11. We're on the right path. We're gonna end the call. I love you guys. Let's do it. I will see some of you at Leaders Retreat and the shopping spree this week. I'm so excited. And I love you. Bye.